from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, February 28th. So we have the moon in Pisces energy all day. Of course, we're still very much in the new moon energy. And so things are very kind of up in the air, kind of wish-washy, all over the place, and highly, highly sensitive. And so this is the last day of February. This is also the last day that Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, will be direct. We are diving into a brand new month. And just as we do that here tomorrow, Venus is going to go retrograde. So again, going to encourage you, if you haven't already, to download that new moon in Pisces manifesting guide, as we will be working with that particular energy moving through the month of March. Going to recommend, if you haven't already, to download your March energy guide to kind of stay in alignment with the energies coming at us here in the most crazy and chaotic month that we have coming at us here in 2025. And of course, here today, there's going to be a lot of endings, a lot of closures, a lot of reflections that we are definitely going to be focusing our time, energy, and attention on. Not only wrapping up the life lessons that we should have learned throughout the month of February. If you need to go back, take a listen to February's energy overview. Definitely do that. See how your month unfolded, whether or not you're in alignment with the energies. And of course, a true reflection over the month is definitely going to help you put into perspective what needs to be done in March. So with all of that being said, there are 7 different aspects taking place here today. 6 of those aspects are going to involve the moon. The moon in this Pisces energy going to trine Mars. Mars being the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger. He is direct now, but still not quite up to snuff. He is in this Cancer energy. This gives us water on water action, thus the trine, which means that there's going to be a gentle flow, a gentle ease, if you will, a little bit of a growth period in our inner realm, especially where our emotions are concerned. Now, water on water action is about cleansing and purifying the junk and the gunk, and then refreshing and renewing our soul and our spirit, our intuition, our insights, specifically with this particular energy, what it is that we want to be kind of honing in on, what we want to be making some progress towards. We have Mars kind of in a good position to understand where it is that motivation, determination definitely needs to be had. We have to fine tune that inner spark, fire, and flame to really stay focused, stay in alignment on the end goal. This is definitely putting us in a more motivated, inspired, creative type of energy to kind of see the forest past the trees and to understand what deserves our time, energy, and attention in this present moment, so that again, we can spend our time, energy, and attention wrapping things up, clearing the space, clearing the way for the good things that we want to build, that we want to create, that we want to bring to life. The moon in Pisces then going to semi-square Pluto, the great transformer in that Aquarius energy. A semi-square is going to highlight a little bit of tension, a little bit of conflict. And basically this is a realization of the to-do list that we just kind of had this epiphany upon. Again, the moon trining Mars, put into perspective what we want to build, what we want to create, what we want to bring to life. And in that realization, we recognize what has to be done in order to get us from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be. This is when things get overwhelming. This is when we kind of start creeping into the fears, the doubts, the insecurities. Pluto, of course, highlights all of those fears, doubts, and insecurities in order for us to become very aware of them so that we have the ability to boss up, to flip the script, to absolutely use those fears, doubts, and insecurities as a fuel, as a source to, again, push us into our power, push us into a position where we can start making improvements and adjustments in this present moment to help align us with the future goal, vision, and dream that, again, we're very eager beaver trying to manifest. The moon in Pisces then goes ahead and makes a beautiful interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer in this Aries energy. So we love this because it means that whatever tension, whatever conflict, whatever struggles we just had with that interaction with Pluto, we are flipping the script. We are using that as a fuel, as a source to kind of build ourselves up. Chiron, being the wounded healer, being aspected in a positive way, we're focused on the growth. We're focused on the healing. We're focused on us opening up our head space, opening up our heart space to new ideas, to new methods of doing things. We have to do things differently in order to create a different result. So we're building ourselves up. We're feeling pretty strong, pretty capable of what needs to be done. And this is a beautiful aspect that we need to hold on to, because the moon in Pisces energy goes ahead and conjuncts, teams up with, meets up with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, also in this Pisces energy. So a conjunction is just as much of an ending as it is a beginning. It is a wild card energy. And so it's awesome that we have this strength, that we have this confidence coming out of that moon and Chiron interaction, because typically speaking, Saturn brings a little bit of a reality check, and sometimes it's harsher than other times. However, what we're kind of ending is the darkness. We just had this new moon in Pisces that acts as the pivot point to kind of move away from the shadow work that needs to be done in Pisces season, and we move into the beautiful parts, the imagination, the creativity, the intuition, the dreaminess, the romantic part of the Pisces energy. But of course, Saturn is here to teach us a tough love life lesson on what it is that we have to end, what it is that we have to slam the door upon in order for us to build and create something new. Now, this is going to help, first of all, build us up in a new belief system on what is possible for us, what it is that we actually believe that we can achieve. Secondary to that, it helps us realize what we have to kind of deconstruct and destroy as far as the old world goes in order for us to have the space to start building towards something new. And lastly, out of all that, it really helps to kind of put us in a situation to move away from a lot of the karmic weight that we have been carrying. We have to loosen the grip on the past, loosen the grip on our pains and traumas, lighten the vibe, understand that the Pisces energy now is being activated to heal us, to inspire us, to kind of push us into a new path, into a new direction. Nonetheless, there's going to be an organization taking over in our inner realm of our thoughts, of our ideas, of the way that we're feeling, in order for us to realize, again, that to-do list, what we have to close the door upon, and then what we want to build in the place of the things that, of course, we are currently eliminating. The moon in Pisces is then going to sextile, which is a beautiful interaction, with Uranus, the great awakener in Taurus energy. We love Taurus and Pisces energy working together when it's working well, because whatever it is that we can dream up, we can actually achieve it. We can bring it to life through that Taurus energy. Now, Uranus, he kind of is giving us a lightning bolt of energy to shift our mind, to shift our mood, to shift our attitude, to help us kind of see the greater, grander picture here. Uranus really wants to kind of jolt us out of the old patterns, the old behaviors, so that, again, we can open up our mind, open up our heart space, try to think outside of the box, try to kind of, do things in a different way to create a different result. This is a beautiful energy to receive downloads and really use our intellect and our intuition to sort through those details, that information, those downloads, that insight, in order to figure out, again, where we have to have a major pivot take place in our physical realm right now, and emotionally speaking, where it is that we're more bold, brave, and courageous to cut things off and to, again, clear the space, clean the slate, so that, again, we have the space to build something new. We then have Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, in this Aries energy, in her final day of being direct. This is actually the last aspect that Venus is going to be making before she retrogrades, and it is a positive one. She is interacting with the sun in Pisces energy. So first of all, we have Pisces energy. The sun is shining a very bright light on the healing that needs to take place, on the growth that we are currently going through, on the new ideas, the new inspirations that we're having for our future selves. Because Venus is all up in the heart space, going through a major pivot point with how she feels towards herself, how she feels towards her life, how she feels towards the people in her life. Again, this is all about happiness and joy and safety, security, and stability. She's in this Aries energy. She's hella jittery. If you need to listen to the Ascension forecast for this week, please do so. This is going to be the time where we're just going to want to crawl out of our skin, where it's going to be hard to breathe, if you will, because there's all of this energy building towards this breakdown point. Then she goes retrograde, and we spend the next couple of weeks anyways, kind of sorting through the darker parts of our self-worth, of our kind of values or priorities, of who and what we actually love and enjoy, and who and what actually makes us feel safe and secure. Venus and the sun coming together at this particular juncture is showing us what needs to end and die in order for something new to be born and to grow, especially within ourselves. This has a lot to do with this new identity that we're trying to boss up into. This has a lot to do with understanding that the world in which we built and created was based off of an old version of self that had different worth, different values, different belief system. Now we're getting heart activated to bring in the dreaminess, bring in the romance, bring in all of the fantasies that we want to kind of lose ourselves in, because again, that's where it all starts. The vision for the future, the answers that we're looking for, the clarity that we're looking for, it all starts within us, starts between our heart space and our head space. And when she retrogrades, we're going to have a lot of time to get heart and head aligned, specifically because, again, Venus and Mercury, they're going to be retrograding together in the same energies and the same sign, walking hand in hand through this retrograde period in order to get our heart and head on the same page. So this is a very, very important time, but it is bringing a lot of energy. It is going to have us feeling like we're just ready to break out of our own damn selves and kind of, burn the whole world around or down around us, because again, there's a major pivot going on in our heart space, and we just kind of want to clear the space and clean the slate and start fresh. Now, the last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Pisces coming up to, bumping into, teaming up with Mercury in Pisces. So we have our heart space, the moon, and the head space, Mercury, on the same page. Again, a conjunction is just as much of an ending as it is a beginning. So the ending part is those old fears, those old doubts, those old insecurities, that old belief system, that old focus on the pain and trauma, the old focus on the victimhood mentality. And the new focus is now being kind of, revived. We're inspired. We are receiving a lot of insight, a lot of clarity on how we're thinking, how we're feeling, especially about what it is that we want to build and create in our futuristic realm. And so this is going to be a beautiful opportunity to receive some very profound insights, some very profound revelations, if you will, on what we want to kind of do, what we need to pursue from here. Where communication is concerned, of course, Pisces energy, we all are kind of struggling to be able to put into words what it is that we're thinking, what it is that we're feeling. However, if you are in a situation to kind of have these types of interactions, it's going to be about inspiration. It's going to be about creative ideas. It's going to be about the evolution of growth and healing. And so it's a beautiful time to kind of have those particular conversations. But at the same time, there's a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunications that could come out of such conversations, because again, Pisces energy, we're not so great with the words. All of the ideas are kind of abstract. All of the downloads coming in aren't really piecing together, connecting the dots as well as we would like. And so the clarity that we are wanting, we are definitely currently lacking at this particular juncture. But nonetheless, the horizon, if you will, is getting a lot brighter off into the distance. And we're finally starting to see this pivot point out of that shadow energy of Pisces and into the good parts.